ROI is a buzzword which everybody talks about when they're considering MBA programs. But there is so much more to it. And to shed light on that, today we have with us Dr. Sandeep Dongre, who is an alumnus of IIM Bangalore, and he carries an extensive experience of 20 plus years in corporate industry. We also have Dr. Sonal Purohit with us, who is an alumna of IIM Ahmedabad and MICA Ahmedabad, and she carries an experience of more than 14 years in the industry. And Dr. Ashok Patil, who is an alumnus of IIM Calcutta, and he carries more than 2 decades of experience in the industry. So, let us talk about how should students assess ROI when they are considering MBA.
Thank you, Disha. ROI is an important topic which nowadays people are talking about. But I would like to bring in the new concept. It's not the ROI, but I would say that focus on the value for the investment which you have done. And the value will come only over the period. One has to look at and focus and see that where the value is created when you are on the campus. The important point is that you get the knowledge which has been imparted during this 2 years period. Apart from that, the kind of skills which you can develop, the networking which is possible to develop during these 2 periods, that is should be the focus. And most important, that your return, which I will call it a value, will come from the attitude which you develop during this 2 year period. So I think ROI, I would replace that word with VFI, that is value for investment.
Just to add to it, just take a perspective of the investment market, and you will see that 90% of the companies which have got funded in the last 5 years have got a very poor ROI. And this itself tells the entire story. People are going for growth potential rather than simply going for ROI. So, in fact, in case of educational institutions, for ROI might be a good term for institutes which have completed 25 years of existence, but definitely not for institutes which are less than 20 years of age. And for institutes which are less than 10 years, ROI concept will not apply at all. So SIBM Nagpur has stood the test, and there was a very urgent need to fulfill the need of a good educational institute in central India, so which is a far bigger need than simply ROI.
So the brands generally talk about value creation, and ROI comes later, right? So according to me, when the students assess their value creations, how they are getting the value for the investments that they have made for their education, they should be looking at the career advancement opportunities, they should be looking at the skill development opportunities, they should be looking at the networking opportunities. That's a long forward thinking, and they should also look at the ranking and accreditations and the kind of global exposure that they can get at an institution.
So, could you please share some examples of some initiatives or resources that students get here for their career opportunities?
SIBM Nagpur provides a lot of opportunities for the students. As I was telling you earlier as well, that it's the value comes from the investments which the education institution does into its infrastructure. Particularly at SIBM Nagpur, we have to focus on technology advancement. Technology-driven activities we conduct here. For the students, we are given access to software, starting from the SPSS to Bloomberg terminals. Right, students have access to these softwares not alone for the working outs, but also for simulation. We have softwares and projects are conducted there. We have the HBS case studies repositories, and the faculty members day in day out take the case studies where the knowledge is enhanced, and this gives a kind of investment return for the students to capitalize on that when they join the companies.
That's amazing for a B school that new. But there is also a question around the alumni network. Like, how is alumni network, impacting the financial outcomes of a B school?
I can answer that. So here, what we can see that the financial outcomes of any B school would improve when there is an amalgamation of the industry, the corporates, as well as the management institute. So there has to be a very close coordination between the corporate and the management institute, and this can happen either through a alumni network or a very strong placement cell. So if both happen, nothing better than that. So if while working for a corporate, if you come across students who are doing really well, so it might just happen that it might result into PPOs for the next batch or a higher salary for the next batch. So that's why the financial outcomes are very, very dependent. So adding to that, you can say that for any corporate, the least amount of need is to train any new person that is coming. So if you consider this need, fulfill the need by continuously revising the course curriculum, it will be of great help. So that's the reason the alumni network has to become a very strong ambassador in the corporate for this to happen.
Okay, so I have one last question that is the most asked question about SIBM Nagpur. That is, how does the B school experience of studying at SIBM Nagpur helps people and contributes in their personal growth and resilience in life?
So I would be happy to answer this question. Basically, in an MBA program, the two important things that one should look at is, are they prepared for the immediate jobs and are they prepared for the future roles that they would be taking up in their advanced career growth and paths. Now, how can they be prepared for these roles is that they should learn how to take up the real world business challenges. So at SIBM Nagpur, the stress is on how the student is prepared for the real world challenges. This is possible with the help of a focus on experiential learning, that is learning by doing, which is possible through the experiential learning assignments that are given to the students in majority of the courses. It's also possible with the help of taking up case discussions in the classrooms by giving them some live projects and also engaging them into industry interactions so that they are aware of the real world business challenges. And to practice on these real world business challenges, how are they going to deal with these real world business challenges? There are a few capstone projects that the student takes up wherein he gets a hand-on understanding of the business challenges. Apart from this, for the future career roles also, there is a robust placement support system that constantly organizes some events, they organize some competitions, and they foster interactions with the industry and alumni for a strong network that helps them in the career growth and the paths. Then there is internationalization, wherein the students are exposed to global business practices. And finally, to foster the learning, we want to offer them wider choices. So for these wider choices, there are various resources available at the institute. To mention a few, for example, there are softwares such as SAP, eViews, NVivo, Smart PLS that gives them enhanced learning as well as wider choices for learning that can be applied into the future career roles for tackling these real world business challenges.
I mean, that's amazing, the experience that SIBM Nagpur is offering to the prospective students. So I hope now we have simplified the concept of ROI. The questions and the speculations that have been going around could be cleared. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time, teachers. Thank you.